Tony D and Little Jones asleep on the couch because she's having her own thing today. Anyhow, this is a screenwriter's rant on Finestkind, starring Jenna Ortega and Tommy Lee Jones and Ben Foster. This is about some guys who have a boat and get involved in some crime. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, Finestkind is the name of the boat. And Tommy Lee owns it. He's the dad. His son, Ben Foster, and his brother or his buddy decide to go out in the Canadian waters to fish and make some extra money. They get caught and they get a $100,000 fine. They're going to lose his father's boat. So in desperation, they turn to smuggling drugs and a one-time shipment. And here they are looking at the drugs and touching them like morons. Jenna Ortega is, I think, the criminal who also I think Ben Foster or this dude falls in love with. And so it's about crime and trying to get even while doing boat stuff. Rated R for adult situations. Written and directed by Brian Helgeland. Streaming December 15th. Well, first up, here's my problem with the trailer. The movie looks pretty watchable, I'll say. My problem with the trailer is they play in excess this song, which is really upbeat, but it seems wrong for the wrong tone for the movie. Because the movie's a little bit dark, and the In Excess song seems a little too peppy for it. Seems like it should be more of a comedy if you're going to do that. Now, maybe this movie has a light ending, I don't know. But it doesn't feel like it does. It feels like it's kind of trying to be grounded in reality. And then you got Jenna Ortega, who gets top billing here, and she is the it girl, I'll say. But she seems a little too young for the role she's in, to set up the drug deal. She plays a teenager sometimes. I mean, or she just got out of playing teenagers. So, seems a little young for the role. Oh, we need to smuggle some drugs. Let's contact this really young hot girl. She'll know what she's doing. Like, that doesn't seem like a good move on top of a really bad move. Usually the criminal is played by, like, Tommy Lee Jones or someone of his age bracket. So it'll be like, all right, boys, so you want to make some money. It's like Jenna introduces them or something, and then one of them hooks up with her. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a really smart plan. This whole thing seems like it should be a dark movie. And again, it feels like it's heading down that road, except the music is completely wrong for this trailer. Way too light. Way too, like, this should be like, Frank has a boat, but he might lose it unless a wacky plan comes into, like something like that. It should be like a comedy, but it's not. Clearly, I think. So, mixed messages, trailer. Mixed messages. Now, that all being said, it doesn't look awful. It looks a little bit tropey. There's a line in it. Ben Foster tells Tommy Lee Jones, oh, I lost your boat, or I got this fine. And he says something like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. And he says something back like, well, you made me. Like, oh, this is kind of your fault. I'm your son. So, like, that seems like in a comedy, maybe that line would have worked. In an actual drama, that just seems like, God, what a little bee you are being. You got some real problems here, and you're turning to drug dealing to solve them. and you're busy arguing your daddy issues with your daddy. Of course, maybe if he was grown up, he wouldn't be in this situation, but still, I mean, that would indicate to me that the movie's going to end very badly, like everybody goes to jail, or he loses the boat, and somebody dies, and in which case the music becomes even worse. Like, the music is even worse for this. Like, if this is a light movie where a bunch of regular Joes smuggle cocaine in order to get out of a problem, and it's kind of amusing and funny, you gotta handle it in a certain way, right? You gotta handle it in a way that they don't want to really hurt anybody, that maybe they weren't smuggling drugs, that they were... Hold on. Joan! Shut up! Like, maybe they weren't smuggling drugs. They thought they would be smuggling something... Joan! Harmless, like... Joan, come in here. Come here. I'll give you a treat. Come here, Joan. See if she comes in here. Anyhow, like, yeah, there she is. Like, if they were, if they thought they were hauling stolen Pokemon cards or something, right? That's kind of a harmless, wacky crime. And, you know, maybe they were still stolen, but everybody would laugh because, oh, it's so ridiculous, it's Pokemon cards, right? But when you have characters smuggling cocaine, you know, a lot of cocaine, apparently, that's like real money and real crime. You know, that's like go to prison for a long time crime. So it makes it harder to be sympathetic. You know, when characters rob banks, I just reviewed not too long ago the Adam Devine movie, where he ends up being a bank robber. And that movie's funny because it's like way over the top, right? And Adam, in that movie, essentially returns all the money. You know, so they don't really steal it. They're sort of borrowing it to save somebody because they have to, kind of thing. And then in the end, they manage to return the money and it's fine. This movie doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's supposed to be grounded in reality. These guys do something very stupid and then compound it by doing something even more stupid. So the only grounded way to end it is they go to jail. They get caught because they're amateurs. They're not drug smugglers. I mean, the very fact that in the trailer they open the case that's full of cocaine, it's just the dumbest move in the world, right? You wouldn't even want to touch it, much less open the case like, oh, yep, it's cocaine. Like, what are you checking? What are you checking? If you're being paid by a bunch of very hardened criminals to move, what do they call it, weight, you don't want to get your fingerprints on anything. And you want to move it as quickly as possible. Maybe you open it to check it, in which case you use gloves. But, you know, yep, it's in there. They may have told you never to open it. It may be locked. Doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to be that stupid and it's going to be that kind of movie, the only ending would be that these guys go to prison and lose the boat. In which case, what a downer of an ending. You know, Jenna Ortega either betrays them or goes to jail with them or gets away and ends up shacked up with some other dude because she's so hot nobody cares. You know, so first act, there are a bunch of wacky dudes that go fishing in Canadian waters even though they know they shouldn't. The Canadian Coast Guard gets their picture here, and they get a $100,000 fine. They're going to lose the boat. All right. So, in desperation, they somehow turn to Jenna Ortega, who has connections with drug dealers. And this dude is the drug dealer. So they're going to smuggle some cocaine and take a good look at it. Maybe that's hashish as well, or hash, or no, heroin. Heroin's black, right? So heroin and cocaine. Yeah, sure, why not? Uh, and then it's about them trying to get away with a crime, and one of the guys hooking up with Jenna, and I don't know. Eventually, the criminals, something goes wrong, and the criminals like try to kill them because they lose their money or whatever. I guess. I don't know. It just, or they rob them, which is, there are interesting ways to commit suicide. That's one of them. I just don't see how this is going to play out, quite frankly, from a criminal standpoint. As a guy who has studied crime, it's like, it seems like beyond stupid, like no way out stupid. So the third act, if this movie is realistic and it appears to be grounded in reality, they go to prison, probably lose the boat. Tommy Lee's in the hospital in one scene. Maybe he dies of cancer. I mean, like, I can't think of any positive endings to this movie. The positive ending would be they get away with it, they save the boat, and the criminals go to jail and not them. I guess that's possible. And then Jenna Ortega runs away with one of the fishermen because it turns out she was a good person. Knows how to set up drug deals, but she's a good person. So it's on Paramount Plus. It's called Finestkind. Would I watch it? I'm kind of curious to see if you can make this movie work. It doesn't seem poorly made. The acting's super solid. The pacing seems good in the trailer. It's just that music. Maybe it's the marketing guy screwed this up and just picked the wrong song. Just like, this is the last song we have to use this year, so we got to use it. But man, you picked a wrong song. Wrong song. And I like that song, but not for this movie. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. and Barky Little Jones, excuse me. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say take it. Today I'm going to the 5-star senior living facility in Voorhees. This is an event for residents only. But tomorrow I will be at the Delenco Library at 7 for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. And then on Saturday I'll be at Geek Fest all day in Woodbury. On Sunday I will be at the 13th Child Brewery. It's going to be a big day. Monday I'm going to be at the Cumberland County Library. And then on Tuesday, Halloween, I will be at the Bridgeton High School. So it's a jam-packed week. It's been great. Thank you all for your support. We'll see you in the next one.